Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Wherever you're at in the world, welcome to Last Rouse Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League tonight. We're going to be bringing you the second game in the series between the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks and the Hiroshima Carp. This game was going to go off in the PayPay Dome in Fukuoka as the Carp and the Hawks went at it last night, and the Hawks took a 4-3 victory over the ball club from Hiroshima. Well, tonight we're going to give you the starting lineups, and then we'll come back with all the action in just a little bit. First of all, the starting lineup for the visitors from the Hiroshima Carp, leading off and playing in center field wearing number 51 is Ren Hirakawa. Batting second in right field is number 96, Shoshi Nakamura. Hitting third at third base is number 5, Kaito Kozono. In the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 10, Tai Suzaki. Batting in the fifth spot and in left field is number 61, Sandro Fabian. Hitting in the sixth spot and playing second base is number 33, Ryosuke Kikuchi. Hitting seventh and doing the catching is number 31, Shogo Sakakura. Batting eighth at shortstop is number 99, Soichi Fudamata. Batting ninth and doing the designating and also pitching tonight is Freddie Tarnock. And that is your lineup for the Carp, and they will be facing Haru Matsumoto, who takes to the hill for the Hawks here tonight in this one. And now your starting lineup for the home team, the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks. Leading off tonight in left field is number 32, Tatsuro Yanagamachi. Batting second in center field is number 23, Yukio Shudo. Hitting third in right field is number 3, Kensuke Kondo. And the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting is number 9, Yuki Yanagita. Batting fifth at first base is number 5, Otaki Yamakawa. Batting sixth at shortstop is number 6, Kenta Imamiya. Hitting seventh and playing third base, number 24, Ryoya Kurihara. Batting eighth and doing the catching, number 62, Takashi Amino. Batting ninth at second base is number 8, Taisi Makihara. And they're going to be facing Freddie Tarnock. As we mentioned, they're listing them both as a DH and as the starting pitcher in this one. Those are your lineups as we have them here tonight. Well, we'll be back in just a few moments. First pitch is about 4 minutes away. And we appreciate you for jumping in, whether you listen live or on delay on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. It is Carp and Hawks when we return in just a few.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Welcome back, everybody. We are going to be starting this ball game here in just a couple of moments as the Hawks have just taken the field, as the ceremonial first pitch has just been concluded. And we'll get this one going for you. We are not sure which one we would do tonight, so it is Carp and Hawks. Tomorrow night, we're leaning toward Fighters and Swallows. That'll give us a chance to look at most of the teams through the exhibition season. As the starting pitcher now for the Hawks, that is Hiro Matsumoto, has now taken to the hill. We'll be able to get this going in just a couple moments. He's completing his tune-up tosses. We'll have a refreshed look for you next week when the season opens. We have all of our, what I would call our intermediate or in-between innings, our openings, all the rest of that stuff. We are going to be updating that over the course of the next week so we get it refreshed so we can bring that to you. But we are glad you guys are popping in with us tonight here. Left-hander Matsumoto just completing his tune-up tosses. He made 29 appearances for the ball club last year for the Hawks, and he is ready to take to the hill here tonight. Well, it'll be Hirakawa, Nakamura, and Kazono to get things going here in the top half of inning number 1. So welcome everybody into the stream. For those of you who are joining us to listen tonight, we have tonight and tomorrow the last 2 exhibition nights, and then it's off to the real thing. Well, here we go. The first pitch of the ball game. Fastball misses inside to Hirakawa, and the count is quickly 1-0. Hirakawa batting from the right side, the 21-year-old. He's 17 for 57 in the exhibition play as the left-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-1. So ball and a strike. Curious to see how this lefty Matsumoto will fare. Also interested to see the starting lineups for the starting rotations for these teams coming up here. As that fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I think the Carp, and I've said this before, will compete for that third and final playoff spot. I think it's a race between the Dragons, the Carp, and the Bay Stars. I think the Giants and the Tigers will be 1-2. There's a fastball swung on it. It's going to be lined on the ground through the 4-hole into right field. It's going to be collected by Kensuke Kondo. He picks it up, and Hirakawa is aboard with a leadoff single to begin the ball game, and that is going to bring up the right fielder in Shoshi Nakamura. Well, for Nakamura, he's getting the opportunity to start the ball game in right field tonight as he strides to the plate. We'll see if we can get any indicators on how the Carp plan to play. As the runner at first, Hirakawa gets his lead. Left-hander against the right-hander. As the pitch is delivered, it's a fastball that misses in the left-handed batter's box, and the count quickly goes to 1-0. 15 for 43 in the exhibition play for the right-handed hitting right fielder of the Carp. Here comes the 1-0 pitch as the lefty delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on it. It is popped up into the right side of the infield, racing over and underneath it, making the catch in foul territory is Taisi Makihara. He had some better angle on it. The first baseman, Yamakawa, got on his horse. He wasn't moving particularly quick, but Makihara coming over to make the catch, and that's going to retire Nakamura for the first out of the inning, and it's going to bring up the third baseman in Kaito Kazono. Well, for Kazono, he steps into the plate, batting from the left side. 25 years old. He had a chance. He spent time with the Japanese national team. He takes a first pitch for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. 0 for 3 in exhibition since the return. But I would think the experience would be invaluable for him, having spent all that time with Samurai Japan. Here's the pitch. Fastball just misses outside, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Kazono. Kazono is getting the start at third base tonight. Interesting, in the Classic, he was considered to be the backup shortstop to Genda, but yet he can't play shortstop for his club team. There's a ground ball hit over to second. They go to second for 1, back to first, and that's going to be an inning-ending double play. That's going to go in the books 4-6-3, and that's going to do it here for the Carp in inning number 1. Well, they squander a leadoff hit by Ren Hirakawa, and it's an unconventional 1-2-3 inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're through a half inning. It is the Carp no score, and the Hawks coming to bat. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back with the call and just a few on the Last Drafts Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. Freddie Tarnok has completed his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to get this one underway. It'll be Yanagamachi, Shudo, and Kondo to come to bat. And the first pitch is taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1 to Yanagamachi. Yanagamachi, well, he has struggled in the exhibition season, 7 for 37. He's got a homer and 3 RBIs, and the pitch is a fastball at the knees for called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. Freddie Tarnok was signed to a one-year, $1.5 million deal by the Hiroshima Carp. That was back in November of 2025 after the big league season is completed. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses up. They appeal to the third base umpire, and up goes the right hand. Down goes Yanagamachi as he's going to be in the Bucks for the first out of the innings. So one away here. That's going to bring up the center fielder in Yukio Shudo. A little bit about Tarnok. He was originally drafted out of high school by the Atlanta Braves organization, and he spent time with the Athletics and Marlins as well. As Yukio Shudo steps in, first pitch fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Had a career 2-1 record with a 3.97 ERA and 25 strikeouts. He made his MLB debut with the Braves back in 2022. 0-1 pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 0-2. So at 27 years old, he won't turn 28 until after the season. Getting an opportunity to pitch in Japan, get the ball every 6 days or so, as there's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 0-2. He can give himself some leverage to maybe get himself a contract back on the other side of the Pacific Ocean. So no balls and 2 strikes. When you think of the likes of Foster Griffin and Anthony Kay, there's a breaking ball that misses way outside. The count goes to 1-2. They were able to cash in recent years. Eric Fetty and Miles Michaelis were able to do the same. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Tarnok delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's lashed foul over toward the third base dugout. And the battle continues here with Shudo. This is Shudo's first at-bats of the exhibition season. Of course, he was with the Samurai Japan in the World Baseball Classic. Both he and Kondo just easing their way back into the lineups. I'm sure he'll be a regular fixture next week. But there's a fastball swung on and missed. That pitch there was at 96 on the gun as Tarnok reached back and put a little extra on it. That's going to put Shudo down for the second out of the inning. That's going to bring up the right fielder in Kensuke Kondo. Well, for Kondo, as we mentioned, he had an absolutely abysmal World Baseball Classic. He was hitless as he swings through a first pitch fastball at 95 for strike 1. A little bit unfortunate because that is what he is known for, is the bat. It's certainly not his glove. Here comes the 0-1 offering. Fastball just misses up and away, and the count now runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Kondo. So not exactly really sure what was going on with Kondo at the time. As I said, he's a pretty reliable bat, certainly in the NPB and wherever else, but you got to get hot for a short window of tournament as that ball was swung on and fouled away. Count goes to now 1-2 on Kondo. Right-hander against the left-hander. Tarnak gets the sign. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that just misses on the inside corner. That's going to keep turn the count to 2-2. Defensively tonight for the Carp from left to right field, it is Fabian in left. The center fielders Hirakawa and right field Nakamura. 2-2 on the way. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Around the horn from first to third, Suzaki's at first, Kikuchi's at second, Futamata's at third, or at short. At third, it's Kazono with the battery of Tarnak and Sakakura. So 2-2 it remains to Kondo as the right-hander gets the sign. He works fairly quickly, does Tarnak. Our first look at him is the right-hander is quite lanky. There's a fastball swung on. He's lifted in deep right field. This ball could be trouble, and it's going to be off the wall. And it gets away a little bit from the right fielder, and he fires it into second base, and sliding in safely is Kondo. Nakamura went to play it off the wall, and it took a weird deflection. Kondo is going to get himself a double, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter in Yuki Yanagita. It was a split-fingered pitch that forgot to split. That pitch was hung right up in the zone, almost at waist height, and that ball didn't miss by much by going out. It was probably about 1.5 or 2 feet below the top of the fence. Good swing there by Kondo. He was right on time with the pitch. So he is aboard at second base with 2 gone, and it's going to bring Yanagita to the plate. And the first pitch from Tarnak is a fastball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Yanagita hitting .333 in exhibition play. The 37-year-old batting from the left side here, waiting on the pitch from Tarnak. On the way, fastball swung on and it's lifted foul down the left field line. Count runs even to 1-1. He is 7 for 21. He has no homers and 4 RBIs. Does Yanagita. The Hawks are my prediction to meet in the Pacific League Climax Series round, championship round. But I have them falling to the Fighters this year. That's my prediction. There's a fastball that misses up. Count goes to 2-1. Although I do like some of the moves they made, especially bringing in Zhou Sisu out of the Taiwanese League. The Chinese Professional Baseball League, they call it, CPBL. From the Weishuan Dragons. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. Yanagita froze. He didn't like the call there. You can tell by his body language. Just now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at second, Kondo. 2 gone here in the first. This is going to be the 20th pitch of the inning by Tarnak as he wastes at the belt. He looks at the runner, now delivers. Fastball swung on, grounded over to first, fielded neatly by Suzaki. He's going to win the race to the bag. It's a ground out to 3 to end the inning, and that's going to do it here for the Hawks in inning number 1. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. You are through 1 complete inning. It is the Carp nothing and the Hawks nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a few after this musical timeout. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. Right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tai Sasaki takes a first pitch for a called strike from Haru Matsumoto, who begins inning number 2. No balls and 1 strike. Hitting from the right side here against the lefty. Sasaki swings and he chops one softly to the right side of the infield, charging hard as Makihara. He throws and fields it, throws and falls down as he's throwing, and he makes a great play, as that is going to retire Sasaki on a ground out 4-3. So 1 up and 1 away here for the Carp, and that's going to bring up the left fielder in Sandro Fabian. Sandro Fabian is one of the other imports in the lineup tonight for the Hiroshima Ball Club. He enjoyed himself a really nice season last year with the Carp. A player from the Dominican Republic, 28 years old. Hit .276 last year with 17 homers and 65 runs batted in. He was an all-star last year as he takes a breaking ball for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Fabian gave the Carp everything that they wanted, and maybe more. As the 0-1 is on the way, breaking ball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. He originally was with the Texas Rangers organization, actually with the San Francisco Giants organization. Then he moved to Texas. And he did have his major league debut in 2024 with the Rangers. But unfortunately for him, even though he made his debut, he had no statistics at that point. There is a fastball that swung on and is popped up over on the first base side. It's in foul territory. It's playable. Racing over to make the catch is the catcher Imino, and that is going to retire Fabian for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away here for the Carp, and that's going to leave it all up to Ryosuke Kikuchi. Well, for the Hawks defensively tonight, from left to right field, the Yanagamachi's in left, Shudo in center, Kondo in right. Around the horn from first to third, Yamakawa is at first. It is Makihara at second, the shortstop Imamiya, and at third is Kurihara. As that is going to give us the battery of Matsumoto and Umino, and the first pitch breaking ball is taken for a called strike. 36-year-old Kikuchi, 10 for 31 in exhibition play. He's got a homer and an RBI. That homer came in last night's ball game, as that breaking ball catches the outside corner. Now he finds himself in the hole at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Lefty ready to go again as he works to the set. Here comes the pitch. Kicks and fires. Fastball misses down in the dirt. A nice stop there by the catcher. That's going to be 1 ball and 2 strikes to Kikuchi. There is a full slate of games again across the NPB tonight. Just as this one got off at the 1 o'clock in the afternoon hours, so too has the game at the Balloonadome. It's bottom of the first, nothing between the Lions and the Bay Stars. Breaking ball misses down and in, and the count goes now to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Other games that'll get going in about 40 minutes time. It'll be the Fighters hosting the Swallows. The game will go at Escon Field. Eagles are at the Tokyo Dome to play the Giants. Marines are at the Vantolin Dome to play the Dragons. And the other one is the Battle of Osaka. That is the Buffaloes and the Tigers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. Kikuchi's in the books. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and they go quietly here to the Carp in the 2nd inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. Your score as we move to the 2nd inning. It is 0-0. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for jumping in, whether you listen live or on delay. It's great to have you with us. We'll be right back in just a bit. Stay with us.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Yamakawa, Imamiya, and Kurihara to come to bat here for the Hawks in inning number 2. As the right-hander Tarnok, who delivered 20 pitches in the first inning, goes back onto the hill. And the first pitch swung on. It is lined to the left field. And diving for it is Fabian. It's going to get by him, and it's off the wall. He races to pick it up. And cruising into second safely is Kondo. Oh, boy. Or sorry, is Yamakawa, I should say. Yamakawa, not the fastest of runners. Fabian had to move to his right. As he dove for the ball, he wasn't able to come up with it. But the depth that he was playing allowed him to get to his feet, retrieve it off the wall, and he came up with a almost perfect throw to second base. And the runner just got in there safely. Get a look at the replay again. He looked like he stuck his glove out, but then lost his balance and fell. It was a favorable bounce off the wall, but a great job by him to throw it in. Boy, I wonder if they'll take a peek at this, because I'm taking a peek at it. No, you know what? It was actually a poor tag. The tag by the second baseman was not good enough. There was a first pitch fastball delivered to Imamiya, and he swings at it and fouls it away. I have to tell you, the tag by the second baseman, Kikuchi, if he takes it right down to the bag, I think he might have got it, Yamakawa. Instead, he got it. He was reaching for him and ended up tagging him up the leg, up the shin, and he wasn't able to retire him there. So this is going to bring Imamiya to the plate here, who's in the hole at 0-1. As the right-hander Tarnok delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. But you got to tip your hat to the runner Yamakawa, as he was coming hard out of the box. And good on him. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This is lifted into shallow center field. Racing in. Did he make the catch or not? The ball's been dropped, and then he can't pick it up as the center fielder. So we're going to see how they're going to rule that. That is Ren Hirakawa. I don't know if he held on to it long enough. We're going to have to wait and see what the umpires, I guess they say he did, because Imamiya is walking off the field. We're going to get a look at it again. He had to come a long way to get it. And as he made the catch, he slid. We saw a play like this the other night. So, yeah, it looks like he has been able to do it, and it is on the exchange that he lost the ball. So that's probably the right call by the umpires. So Imamiya is retired for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring up the third baseman, Ryoya Kurihara. Kurihara waits, and the first pitch is a fastball swung on. It is popped up into shallow center field. This time underneath it again is the center fielder, Hirakawa, but this time he's there to make the catch. And that is going to retire Kurihara for the second out of the inning, and it's going to leave it all up to the catcher and Takeshi Umino. Well, for Umino, he gets the start tonight behind the plate. 28-year-old batting from the right side here against Tarnok. 4 for 21 in exhibition plays, hitting $190. I have to tell you, I think that the Hawks are going to need to do something about their catching. I think losing Takuya Kai a couple of years ago, I don't know if this is the guy to replace him. I don't know if any of their catchers, Tanagawara listed as one, and others are in line to do that. I think the Hawks are going to need to get themselves a good backstop either during the year or next year. There's a breaking ball that misses up, and the count is 1-0. Tarnok gets the sign from his catcher, Sakakura, as he works to the set position. Pitch on the way. Fastball just misses inside. Count now goes to 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Tarnok again ready to go back to work, leaning in and getting the sign from Sakakura. As he works himself to the belt. Checks the runner over at second. Here comes the 2-0. Pitch on the way. Fastball center cut for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. 94 miles an hour on that last pitch. What I'm curious to see with Tarnok is how he is able to mix his speeds. Is he able to change speeds? Is he able to be able to have good command and control over his pitches? Is that breaking ball swung on and fouled away? Count now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Umino. And I'm not really sure what the knock on him was in the minor leagues. I mean, he did get to the big leagues, and What's his issue? Is it injuries? Is it command? Is it control? Is it stamina? I guess all will be unveiled this year with the Carp as he gets full opportunity. Fastball swung on, grounded past the diving third baseman Kazono into left. Coming up with it is Fabian. Here comes the throw to the plate, and it's not going to be in time as Yamakawa is going to score from second. Fabian with another strong throw. But this one here not going to be in time to get the runner, Yamakawa. It's going to go down as an RBI single for Imino as Yamakawa came all the way around to score. That's going to bring up Taisi Makihara to the plate. The 2-2 pitch was middle in, and good job there by Amino to really pull his hands inside, be able to turn on that pitch. The look at the replay on that one, and throw was just slightly offline, and Yamakawa with just enough speed to be able to get around to score. So Makihara steps to the plate, another player with the Hawks who spent time with the Samurai Japan. Used in a more utility role. Played a little second, played a little center, played a little left field. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Makihara. So the Hawks with a early 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the second inning. The 33-year-old Makihara waggling the bat. He's the Pacific League batting champ, and he swings at a fastball and fouls it right into the midsection of the catcher Sakakura. And Sakakura is going to need a couple moments to walk it off, as I believe he was hitting the Sakakuras. Boy, that's a little bit painful. That is no doubt about it. So no balls and 2 strikes. It remains here to Makihara as digs himself back in to the plate, ready to get the offering from Tarnik. As Tarnik works himself to the set position, here comes the 0-2. Checks the runner at second. That's Amino, and there's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it as Makihara is down on strikes, but the Hawks have drawn first blood here in the second inning. They had 1 run on the benefit of 2 hits, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are through 2 complete at the PayPay Dome in Fukuoka. It is a 1-0 lead for the Hawks. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a few after this. We appreciate you for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is a Hawks lead of 1-0. We'll be back after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is an RBI single off the bat of Amino that has given the Hawks a early 1-0 lead. It'll bring up the bottom third of the batting order for the Carp here. It'll be Sakakura, Futamata, and Tarnak. The pitcher will be hitting here for the Central League squad, as we have noted that over the last couple of nights as they're getting ready for their season. There's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Left-hander against the left-hander. 244 for Sakakura in the exhibition season as he takes a breaking ball up and in, and the count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Our friend Pete Crow Armstrong, user Cubs Pete Crow Armstrong in the house tonight. Glad you can make it in as the 2-0 is on the way. It is chopped down the first baseline, fielded by Yamakawa. Underhand flips it to the pitcher covering. Wasn't a very good flip, but nice play there by the pitcher Matsumoto covering to bail out his first baseman. It's going to go as a ground out, 3-1. So one gone here. It'll bring up the shortstop in Soichi Futamata. Well, for Futamata, he's getting the opportunity to start at shortstop tonight. It'll be his first at bat here in the ball game. Boy, who says pitchers aren't athletic with that play that Matsumoto made? Nice job by him. So the lefty ready to go again as he works himself to the belt and now delivers. There's a first pitch fastball swung on and missed. The count is quickly 0-1 to Futamata. So no balls and one strike. Lefty again rocks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on. This is lifted down the right field line, but it's going to slice into the netting. Count now goes to 0-2. The 23-year-old Futamata, well, he's 5 for 29 in exhibition play with a homer and 3 RBIs. Off to a fast start, but it is the exhibition season. All gets going for real next Friday. Here's the 0-2 pitch as he kicks and delivers, and it's a breaking ball. Misses down and in. Count goes to 1-2. So ball and 2 strikes. Lefty working to the belt. He pitches from the stretch despite no runners on base. There's a fastball center cut. Oh, he takes it for a called strike. I'm not sure what Futamata was looking at, but you're not going to get a better pitch than that. He's in the books for out number 2, and that's going to leave it up to the pitcher, Freddie Tarnock. As we mentioned, they have him listed as a DH in the game sheet, which I thought was kind of funny, but maybe he'll stay in the game to hit as well. Who knows? So Matsumoto ready to deliver. The first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Tarnock. Hey, he looks the part. Now, they do list him as a DH. Wonder if he's actually going to get a chance to swing the bat later in the game as well. Here's the pitch. There's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul over on the third base side. I don't know if I like the look of that swing, though. Not sure that'll keep you in the lineup, per se. But you never know. We'll have to wait and see. So he is wearing the Jackie Robinson number 42. Of course, retired in Major League Baseball, but is currently in the NPB. Remember, Lewis Brinson a couple of years ago was donning 42 for the Giants. There's a breaking ball that misses down and in. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. I'd be curious if they keep him in the ball game once it would be over, per se, or at least once his pitching performance is over. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball misses down. It's now run even to 2-2 on Tarnock. Our friend Samurai Prayer in the house. He says Kanbao from Japan. Yeah, it's almost, our time is almost Ohio Gozaimasu, but there's a fastball swung on it. It's hammered into the 6-hole into left field. That's going to be a ground ball for base hit for Tarnock with 2 outs. So he's got himself a single. That's the second hit by the Carp tonight. Well, maybe that's why they might leave him in as a DH. If he can swing the bat, I'm sure the Carp will take everything they can get. So Tarnock with a base hit. And that is going to bring up the top of the order in Ren Hirakawa. Hirakawa tonight is 1 for 1. Batting from the right side here is the starting center fielder for the Carp, and he takes a breaking ball over for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Hirakawa was busy in the last half inning, making a couple of plays in center field. As the 0-1 pitch coming from Matsumoto on the way. It's a fastball swung on, and it breaks the bat. Bat goes out almost to actually goes all the way to the shortstop position and is caught by Otake Yamakawa at first. That is going to do it. I've seen a few of those in the spring this year. The bats have been breaking kind of funny. That's another one. The barrel and a whole lot of meat on that bat all ends up at short, and the ball ends up in Yamakawa's glove over at first. There was no runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and one runner left aboard. We are moving to the bottom of the third. Your score is the Hawks with a 1-0 lead. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging in on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. It is Carp and Hawks. More action when we return after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order to come to bat for the Hawks here in inning number 3, and that is going to be Tatsuro Yanagamachi, followed by Yukio Shudo and Kensuke Kondo. 0 for 1 today is Yanagamachi. He struck out on 3 pitches to lead off the ball game. Tarnok has 3 strikeouts in this one here over the first couple innings, but he has given up a run to put the Carp behind 1-0. 33 pitches for the right-hander through his first 2 innings of work, and the pitch to Yanagamachi, fastball swung on. It's going to be lined into center field for a base hit just past the glove of the shortstop Futamata, and that will give the Hawks a leadoff hitter here in the third, and that's going to bring up the center fielder in Yukio Shudo. I kind of wonder why they've got this batting order the way they do, with Yanagamachi leading off and Shudo batting second. In my opinion, I would have had Shudo hitting leadoff as he has done. Yanagamachi would be clogging up the base paths for the speedy Shudo. So potentially, it's not that Yanagamachi's a slow runner, but he's not the speedy runner that Shudo is. There's a first pitch breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Shudo. Shudo struck out his first time up, batting from the left side here against the right-hander. Shudo, again, another member of the World Baseball Classic team in this past tournament. I think he was underutilized. There's a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 0-2. I made my comments loud and clear. I just didn't really like the way that the Samurai Japan was constructed. Not a lot of speed, poor defense going into the tournament. You can go back and listen to our pre-tournament exhibition games that we called. Them not getting to the finals, I don't know if they were a finals team, but them certainly not getting to the semifinals is a disappointment. Here's the 0-2. Fastball swung on and lifted foul, and the count is going to remain at 0-2 to Shudo. Now, mind you, it was Venezuela who disposed of the Japanese, went on to win the tournament. And they just happened to catch fire, played good ball at the right time, and were able to run the table to get themselves a gold medal win in the World Baseball Classic. Here's the 0-2 to Shudo. Tarnok delivers. Breaking ball swung on. Hammered into right field. That's down for a base hit. Over to field it and pick it up and firing it back in, but is the right fielder Nakamura, but it's going to send Yanagamachi over to third. Shudo is going to stop at first with the single. going to bring up the right fielder in Kensuke Kondo. So the Hawks are flapping their wings here in the bottom of the second inning, as Tarnik finds himself in a bit of trouble here with 2 aboard and no out. As the catcher Sakakura steps up and flashes the first and third defense. So Kensuke Kondo stepping into the plate here. He is 1 for 1 tonight. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Tarnik, who delivers. Fastball swung on it, is lifted up into left center field. Moving back underneath it, making the catch is Nakamura. Tagging at third and heading home is Yanagamachi. And that is going to be the first run of the inning, or the second run of the ball game for the Hawks. So sacrifice fly to center field. Gone is Kondo for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Yuki Yanagita. Well, for Yanagita, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out to first to end the first inning. And we have to take a look at that. Yukio Shudo ended up tagging over at first, and he ended up taking second. There was a ground ball hit to the left side of the infield, and Futamata fields it, but he's not going to be able to throw out Yanagita. He had to go deep into the 6 hole. The ball was just dribbling. So Shudo, who was already over at second base, he couldn't advance to third, but Yanagita is going to get himself an infield single. That's going to put runners at first and second, and it's going to bring the dangerous Otaka Yamakawa to the plate. And for Yamakawa, well, he is 1 for 1. He scored the first run of the ball game for the Hawks. He had a double. Ended up scoring on the single by Emino back in inning number 2. So again, the Hawks flapping their wings here, looking to make it 2 straight over the Carp. So the right-hander Tarnik ready to go back to work, getting the signs from Sakakura as he works himself to the belt. Checks the runner over at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses inside. Appeal to the first base umpire, but they say that Yamakawa didn't go. It's 1 ball and no strikes. And this is something else I don't understand. You got Yamakawa hitting in the 5 spot. Then you go to Kenta Imamiya. And then you got Ryoya Kurihara. I would have thought Kurihara would have been a better choice to slot in behind Yamakawa just because of his power presence. Breaking ball waved at and missed. The count goes even to 1-1 to Yamakawa. But again, I'm not making the decisions here for the Hawks. I'm just commenting and speculating why. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander works himself to the belt. He checks the runner over at second. Now delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on it. Is popped up into shallow center field. Nakamura coming in underneath it. He makes the catch. Retreating back to second is Shudo. It was too shallow for him to advance. Yamakawa gone for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring up the shortstop in Kenta Imamiya. Well, for Imamiya, he lined out to the center fielder his first time up. Oh for 1 in the ball game today. Batting from the right side here. 2 aboard, 2 gone. Tarnak gets the sign from his catcher as he works himself to the belt. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. Counts quickly 0-1 to Imamiya. Imamiya taps both sides of the plate. As the right-hander Tarnik works himself to the belt. Checks the runner over at second. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Count now goes to 0-2 on Imamiya. Again, Tarnik looking in. as the light-hitting shortstop at the plate here for the Hawks. As Tarnik works himself to the belt, checks the runner over at second. And here comes the 0-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined into left field. It's going to be for a base hit. Fabian comes up to throw it. This one's going to get cut off as Shuto will easily score from second base. So an RBI single off the bat of Imamiya. I guess who am I talking about protecting when you got Imamiya hitting behind? I was speculating and saying, why not Kurihara? But instead, Imamiya does do the job. He gets a base hit and an RBI. That's going to increase the scoreline to 3-0 as Kurihara comes to the plate. I can't say that Tarnok is trash by any stretch of the imagination. He's been throwing strikes tonight. And some of the balls, I'm not saying they're seeing eye singles, but they're just hitting them well enough to get past the infielders. So that's something to keep in mind, too, with Tarnok. He's not like he's been throwing balls and walking the yard. He's been around the zone. A couple breaks either way. Be in better position here. There's a breaking ball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. But one thing that is a concern, he's got 3 strikeouts here in his 2+ innings of work. I don't know if he's really got an out pitch. His fastball at 95, 96. I was speculating earlier why, because he looks good. Why can't keep a job in Major League Baseball. There's a fastball that catches the outside corner and the count runs even to 1-1. But I'd have to see him a couple more times. He doesn't have particularly a lot of late life on his fastball. It's not like facing a Logan Webb. So 1 ball and 1 strike. All smiles in the Hawks dugout with the 3-0 lead. Tarnik delivers. There's a fastball that just misses inside. And the count now goes to 2-1. Our friend All Rails in the house, our good friend Tim. Welcome to the stream. How you doing? We missed you for the Bay Stars last night, as we did give the call of the Bay Stars and the Lions. That'll be our last look of that team before the regular season. There's a breaking ball that misses up. And the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike. 50 pitches already here for Freddie Tarnok, as he leans in and gets the sign from his catcher, Sakakura. Checks the runner at second, delivers. Fastball swung and grounded over to the right side. Fielded by Kikuchi. Throws to first, and that is going to do it. It's a ground out 4-3. But 7 batters come to the plate in the 3rd inning. And the Hawks scored 2 runs on the benefit of 4 hits. There was no errors and 2 runners left aboard. Already 7 hits given up here by Tarnik. And that is where we stand. 3-0 Hawks as we're going to cruise to the top of the 4th inning. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments on the Last Drops Baseball YouTube channel with all the action right after this musical timeout. With the pitching parade for the Hawks has begun, as it is going to be Yusuke Ito taking over here on the hill. We noted last night that the Hawks used 7 pitchers in the game against the Carp, and curious to see if they will do something similar here tonight. Matsumoto very effective in his 3 innings of work, but he is now turning the ball over to Ito to begin the top of the 4th inning. Well, Ito is going to be facing Nakamura, Kozono, and Sasaki. This game here is knock on wood, a little ahead of schedule than we normally would have. We certainly have seen games that have dragged on a little bit. Not last night's game. Last night's game was a pretty quick one as well. Exhibition play. As the first pitch on the way from the right-hander, it's a fastball that catches the outside corner, and the count is 0-1 to Ren Hirakawa. Hirakawa is a 1 for 2 tonight. Check that. It is the second hole hitter. It's Nakamura. So no balls and 1 strike. Nakamura is 0 for 1 tonight as he takes a fastball for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes. So Nakamura, Kondo, and Sasaki to come to bat here. In the 4th inning, there was a breaking ball swung on. It was chopped over to third. Kurihara on the backhand fields it. He fires across the diamond. That's a nice defensive play by the Hawks third baseman. That is going to retire Nakamura for the first out of the inning. It's going to bring up the third baseman in Kaito Kazono. Well, for Kazono, officially 0 for 1 tonight as he grounded into a double play to end the first inning. As the right-hander Ito ready to go. Kazono waiting on the pitch. First pitch swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. I still can't get over this Carp red on red numbers and on the jerseys. Even when you see it in person, it's hard to understand. As the 0-1 on the way, it's a fastball swung on. It is grounded up the middle for a base hit. And Kazono is going to be aboard with a 1-out single. That's going to bring up the first baseman in Tai Sasaki. I read a bit of the reasoning behind it, and it still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Also, with the mark on the back of the white jersey, I forget, it had to do something with the salmon itself, or the carp itself, I should say. So I have to apologize and say for my lack of understanding, but even if it was explained to me, or as it was explained to me, I don't understand the significance. So up to the plate, Sasaki, and the first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Sasaki 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded out his first time up. As he steps in here facing the reliever Ito for the first time. As Ito works himself to the set, here comes the pitch. Kicks and delivers. Split finger pitch missing down, and the count now goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Ito getting the sign from his catcher. And he nods in agreement. And there is a breaking ball that just misses, and the count now goes to 2 balls and a strike. As we mentioned earlier, it'll be Swallows and Fighters tomorrow night to wrap up the exhibition play in the NPB. As there's a fastball that misses outside, the count now goes to 3-1. And then it'll be on to the regular season, and it will be starting on Friday. We'll put up a couple game schedule. We'll be on Friday and on Saturday for the Japan games. But we are not going to be on Sunday. As they throw over to first base and diving back easily is the runner Kazono. So 3 balls and 1 strike here to Sasaki. Right-hander again delivers. There's a fastball that just misses outside. Count now is ball 4 to Sasaki. He's going to be aboard with a walk. And Kazono is going to make his way over to second. That's going to put runners at first and second with 1 gone. And that is going to bring Sandro Fabian to the plate. Well, as we mentioned earlier, Fabian had a pretty good season last year, hitting .276 with 17 homers and 65 runs batted in. Bats from the right side here against Ito. He is in scoring position when he steps to the plate as Fabian. And the first pitch from Matsumoto is a breaking ball that is swung through and missed. The count is 0-1. It looked like Fabian was guessing on that. He was guessing to try to hit the ball 500 feet. And he was way out in front of a breaking pitch. So no balls and 1 strike. Right-hander again working to the set position. Here comes the 0-1. On its way, fastball taken for a called strike. And the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Fabian. 1 gone here in the 4th. Runners at first and second. The runner at second's Kazono. The runner at first, Sasaki. Fabian in the hole here at 0-2. As the right-hander gets the sign and nods in agreement multiple times. And here comes the 0-2. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball missing down and away, but the runners are going to hold. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Amino able to block it and keep it in front. One thing I'm not sure that I like. It looks like Ito usually you want pitchers that are tall. That's one thing that you don't always get in the Japanese league. You want guys with long arms. Well, not only is Ito not the tallest pitcher, but doesn't look like he's got the longest arms. Wonder how that'll work out for him as a pitcher. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. On the way. Breaking ball missing down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2. Can't remember if I saw Ito pitch much last year. He is also donning the number 42, as is the opposition's pitcher in Freddie Tarnock. Talking about that earlier about Jackie Robinson wearing that number in North American baseball, but it is not adhered to in Japan. He never played in the Japanese league, so 42 being a number not of major significance, just global. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. It's now 3-2 to Fabian. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the right-hander works himself into the set position, here comes the 3-2. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on, belted into deep left field. This ball is trouble, and this ball is gone. A home run for Fabian, and just like that, we are tied as Fabian has smoked the ball about 3 rows into the left field seats. Scoring ahead of him is going to be Kazono and Sasaki. So I wonder if the manager for the Hawks has like a scripted order of who's going to pitch and how they are, but Ito has come in here and has been, quite frankly, not very effective. He has, after the first ground out a hit, a walk, and now the 3-run homer. And just like that, we are all tied up. It was a breaking ball that hung up in the zone, didn't really do much. And Fabian on the 3-2 pitch made no mistake, and he was behind in the count at 0-2. A nice catch in the stands there by a fan wearing what to be a Carp jersey, as there's a breaking ball taken for that's just missed. They got it up at 1-0. That pitch looked pretty darn good. So Fabian back to the dugout, probably talking, looks like, to Eliharius Montero. Fastball catches the outside corner, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Kikuchi. Kikuchi 0 for 1 tonight. He, back in the second inning, struck out to end inning number 2. Pitch on the way. Fastball catches the outside corner for called strike. The count goes to 1-2. You can just see the body language of the players when they don't agree, and certainly Kikuchi letting the home plate umpire know that he didn't think that was a strike. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a breaking ball swung on. This is going to be looped into left field. It's down for a base hit, so the hit parade continues. That's 4 consecutive batters who've reached base, 3 by hits. And Kikuchi aboard with a single, and that's going to bring up Shogo Sakakura to the plate. So for those of you who have just joined us, it was the Hawks jumping out to a 3-0 lead, and here we are in the 4th inning, and now we're all locked up at 3s. Over at the Balluna Dome, it is no score between the Lions and the Bay Stars. So all the action in the early game coming here. Already 20 pitches in the inning here for Ito. As Kikuchi has 1 foot on the turf and 1 foot on the dirt. He gets his lead at first. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Sakakura. Sakakura grounded to the first baseman his first time up. Batting from the left side here. His at bat came against the starter Matsumoto. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, chopped, foul just past the first base coach's box. Count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. This is the second game of the 3 games set between these clubs. Last night it was the Hawks with a 4-3 victory. By the looks of it tonight, there's going to be a few more runs put on the board. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, Sakakura stood there and watched it go by. He's gone for excessive window shopping. He's out for the second out of the inning. And that now is going to bring up the shortstop in Soichi Futamata. Well, for Futamata, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out looking his first time up. As he's batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Ito. And there's a fastball that comes inside, and he misses for a ball 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Futamata waggling the bat, waiting on the offering here from the right-hander, who kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses outside. The count now goes to 2-0. Got to wonder at what point you're going to put Kikuchi in motion to at least stand up a fielder's choice possibility. Take away the force. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 2-1, so 2 balls and a strike it is. "26 pitches already here for the right-hander Ito as he fires over to first base, and diving back in time is the base runner Kikuchi. So he seems to have the same thoughts that we do. Is he going to be on the run? As the right-hander again works himself to the set. Here comes the 2-1 pitch. Ito delivers. Fastball swung on, popped up over on the right side of the infield. Moving over underneath it is Makihara. He's in foul territory now and makes the catch. That's going to do it as Futamata is retired for the third out of the inning. But damage done here by the Carp, and lots of it. 3 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits. No errors and 1 runner left aboard. Your score now as we move to the bottom of the 4th. We are back to where we began, all square. But this time it is 3-3. So stick around, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a few. As it is the Carp and the Hawks on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is Freddie Tarnock who is coming back out for his 4th inning of work as we are all knotted up at 3 apiece. The 3-run homer off the bat of Sandro Fabian has brought this game back to a all-square situation. So the right-hander ready to go back to work. 6 days away to the NPB's first games for real, as the right-hander holds to the set now, delivers. The first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Casciamino at the plate here. He's 1 for 1 tonight. Singled and drove home a run. Looks like we got some changes in the field for the Carp, as there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. We'll have to get those cut up as they come to bat. Amino, a single, drove home the first run of the ball game back in the second inning. As the right-hander ready to deliver again, there's a breaking ball down. Nice stop there by Sakakura. And the count goes to 1-2 strikes. We were talking about Amino earlier, saying we're not sure if he is cut out per se to be the starter long-term, or the answer, as the pitch is a fastball swung on and missed. That's the reason why right there. He gets tied up on a inside fastball, and he's gone for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the second baseman in Taisi Makihara. And for Makihara, well, he steps to the plate. He is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out on his first trip. Batting from the left side. Makihara, as we mentioned earlier, was the batting champion in 2025 in the Pacific League. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses outside. He played a very, what I would call, minor role in the Samurai Japan World Baseball Classic appearance. As the right-hander Tarnak delivers. Fastball swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-1. Did see a little bit of action. And again, I think that the team, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, I was ranting a bit and saying even before the series started, the poor defense, pitching was no issue, I don't feel, for the Japanese. But it was just the construction of the offense. They would have big innings, and then it would be crickets for so long. As that pitch is down for a ball, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Makihara. So 2 balls and a strike. As again, the right-hander ready to go. He kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And the count now goes to 2-2 to Taisi Makihara. 59 pitches for Tarnak. So I'm curious, as I said, I'm interested to see if they're going to maybe run the table or get the starters a full complement of work here. Fastball swung on, chopped over to the right side. They're going to have to hurry fielding it, and they say that Makihara is not going to be in time. It was Kikuchi is out of the game. They had replaced him with one of the other defenders. I believe that is Katsuda, who is in at second base now. And the ball was chopped. It got by the glove of Tarnak. The second baseman had to come in hard. He fielded it. The exchange was too slow. I wonder if they'll challenge, but I don't think it might be worth it. I think on the replay we just saw that Makihara is easily safe at first. And no, the Carp will not challenge. So he is aboard, and that's going to bring the top of the order in Tatsuro Yanagamachi to the plate. And then Gamachi 1 for 2. He singled and scored a run. He is also struck out in the ballgame. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side. Very similar play, except this time the second baseman for the Carp, Katsuda, able to make the play. It's a ground out 4-3, but advancing over to second base is Makihara, and that's going to bring up Yukio Shudo to the plate. What I like about Shudo is obviously his speed. That is something that he is most known for. But I like the fact that he can do different things. I would not put it out of his realm of possibility to drop a bunt here and try to utilize his legs to get aboard, especially if that third baseman has to come running in. Makihara might be able to take third. We'll see what they have up their sleeves. The first pitch fastball, there's no sign of a bunt. He lifts this down the left field line, racing over, and underneath it is no longer Sandro Fabian. They do have a replacement for him. So the left fielder has made the grab. Shudo is done, and we are done in the fourth inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are through 4 complete. Your score is the Carp 3 and the Hawks 3. Stick around, everybody. We appreciate you guys for listening in. We'll stick around, and we'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this musical timeout. Stay with us. Right back in a few. Welcome back, everybody. It looks like the changes are coming fast and furious here in this one, interestingly enough, as they are going to be making some replacements. We're going to have to try to get that for you as they become available, as it does look like we'd have a new first baseman as Hotaki Yamakawa's day is done. Also looks like that Yukio Shudo's day might be done as well. We'll have to see what the changes officially are. I'm looking at the other side of the ledger, as they had made some changes, did the Carp as well. As Sandro Fabian had left the ballgame, it is Takeyoshi Noma who had come into his spot, but he is going to be playing in right field. So Noma now in right. Other changes for the Carp defensively, as we mentioned before, Ryosuke Kikuchi out of the game. It is Naru Katsuda who had come in to replace him. So we're getting early bench movement. Usually we see this after the fifth inning or so. I don't know. Maybe they had planned only a couple of at-bats. And those are all the changes that I can see at the moment. Although it looked like they had moved Shogo Nakamura from right to left field. There is a pitching change, as it is going to be Yuki Samori on the hill. It looks like the night is done for Yukio Shudo, as it is for Imamiya and Yamakawa. Very interesting. We get all early night out in Fukuoka. There's a fastball swung on. It is grounded up the middle, and it is fielded, and they fire to first, and that's going to retire. Batter, that looks like it was Eliharios Montero who had come in to pinch hit. So we got all kinds of stuff. Get your erasers out. So end the hit for Tarnak, and that is going to retire him for the first out of the inning. Ground out 4-3 to Makihara, and that's going to bring the top of the order in Ren Hirakawa to the plate. Hirakawa today is 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that misses outside in the count now. No balls and 1 strike to Hirakawa. So Montero got a chance to bat. I wonder if Tarnak, they listed him as a DH. I wonder if he'll still stay in the ballgame. There's a fastball swung through and missed. And the count now goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Samori ready to deliver again. There's a fastball that misses outside. Count goes to 1-2. A little early in the game for Samori, but he's come on here in relief. The third pitcher used by the Hawks. Fastball misses outside. The count now runs to 2-2 on Hirakawa. So check that. It's 3 balls and 1. I've got it at 2-2. They've got it at 3-1 up there, but it doesn't matter. It's going to be lined into left field for a base hit. I was saying before, the exhibition season, sometimes you get the scoreboard a little bit off. I mean, sometimes it's us who are a little bit off, but it doesn't matter in this situation. Hirakawa on the 5th pitch of the at-bat singles to left, and that is going to bring up, or scheduled to bring up, Soshi Nakamura. As I said, we're trying to keep track of all these changes that they have made here. So Shoshi Nakamura coming to the stick. As the right-hander Samori fires over to first base and diving back in time easily as the runner. For Nakamura, he's 0 for 2. He has popped to second and grounded to third in his 2 trips. And the right-hander holds to the set. Now delivers. Breaking ball swung on and missed. And the count now goes to no balls and 1 strike to Nakamura. Top of the 5th inning, 3-3, Carp and Hawks. All the other games are now currently underway across the NPB. As the right-hander holds to the set, now delivers. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes even to 1-1 on Nakamura. There is blood in the game between the Fighters and the Swallows. 1-0. The Fighters have a lead in the bottom of the 1st inning. The Tokyo Dome, the Giants are off and running against the Eagles. It's 1-0 there. There's a fastball lifted into the netting. Foul, and the count is 1-2 to Nakamura here. Of course, this game's at 3-3. All the other games are locked up at zeros. That is the Lions and the Bay Stars. They're in the top of the 5th. Top of the 2nd, it is 0-0 Dragons and Marines. And bottom of the 1st, Tigers and Buffaloes locked at zeros. There's a breaking ball down in the dirt. And the count goes to 2-2 on Nakamura. That'll catch you up on all the out-of-town scores. But here, if the over-under through the first 5, I'm not sure what it was. I didn't look at the beforehand. It could have been 5.5 for at least the, well, maybe not even for that for the first 5, but it's already been exceeded, one would think. A 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and tapped softly over toward the third base dugout. The count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, digging back into the plate is the right-handed hitting Nakamura. Very open stance here against Samori as the right-hander works to the belt. 2-2 on the way. Pitch coming. Breaking ball misses down and away. Good job there by the hitter to lay off it. Count is 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. And the right-hander working himself into the set position. He checks that runner over at first. As the right-hander ready to go. And the pitch to Nakamura. It is a fastball swung on. It is going to be looped down the right field line, and it is just going to slice foul. Oh, the runner was on the move on the 3-2 pitch as Hiroshima was in motion. The ball just lifted foul, and the count remains at 3-2 here to Nakamura. Only 1 gone, so they're trying to stay out of the double play. I was kind of wondering if they were going to start him in motion earlier, being Hiroshima. So we'll do the 3-2 all over again to Nakamura. As the right-hander works to the set. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and fouled away. Oh, boy, that hurts. I feel for Amino there. Amino was getting himself in position to catch the ball and to try to fire it down to second base because the runner was in motion again. But as he was coming out of his crouch to receive and get rid of the throw, the ball was swung on and fouled away and fouled right into looked like the forearm of the catcher. And to Amino's credit, he's ready to go again. He doesn't even need much to go, but that could have been very, very, very dangerous. Breaking ball swung on, missed. The runner goes down to second, and he's going to get thrown out by a country mile. It's going to be a strike him out, throw him out. It is a double play to end the inning, so it's caught stealing, and that's going to go 2-6 for the third out. And that'll do it here for the Carp in their half of the 5th inning. No runs in the inning. 1 hit, no errors, nobody left the board. It's an unconventional 1-2-3. We are halfway through the ball game, and your score, we are all tied at 3s. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action on the Last Drops Baseball YouTube channel. Glad you could make it in tonight, or whether you listen on delay. Appreciate you either way. Your score as we go to the bottom half of inning number 5. We are locked at 3s. It is Carp and Hawks. More action when we return after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. They had started Freddie Tarnock as the DH and the pitcher, interestingly enough, and he stays in the ball game as he's going to be starting the 5th inning here, as he's going to be getting Kensuke Kondo, Yuki Yanagita, and then we'll have to see who is in place of Taka Yamakawa in the order. There is a change in left field for the Carp, and we'll have to get that for you as well as we move along. And the first pitch to Kondo was swung on and fouled away. Count is 0-1. Tarnock, so they let him hit. He got a base hit, and then they brought Montero into the DH spot. Breaking ball misses outside, and the count now goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Kondo hitting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Tarnock as he kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung, and this ball's lifted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble, but no, backing up on just to the edge of the track and making the catch is Noma. It's going to retire Kondo. Just got a little bit underneath it, a little bit short. Kondo gone for the first out. It's going to bring Yuki Yanagita to the plate. Well, for Yanagita, officially 1 for 2 tonight. Actually, Yanagita is going to get pinched hit here for now, so we'll have to make that correction for you. Maybe his night is done. A lot of early exits here. There's a fastball that misses down. It looks like it's Tanagawara. We'll wait and see here. As in the pinch hit, the first pitch was missed down in the dirt. There's Kenta Tanagawara, the left-handed hitting. Boy, if I'm starting to recognize the players and the depth of their bench, that's pretty good. There's a pop-up over around home plate. Moving over underneath it is Sakakuri. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire the pinch hitter Tanagawara for the second out of the inning. So we'll get him into that spot. So Kenta Tanagawara. Now, I was saying earlier, a little surprised, especially for the home team, the Hawks. They got a really good crown for this one here, that they would make that change. It looks like it is Akira Nakamura stepping in here. So batting from the left side, the veteran 36-year-old. And the pitch on the way, a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. A veteran batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Tarnock. And there's a breaking ball waved at and missed. And the count now goes to 0-2, so no balls and 2 strikes. So the right-hander Tarnock on the hill here, works to the set, now delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Boy, I don't know about that, but the home plate umpire said so, so it's got to be true, and that is going to do it here for the Hawks in their half of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We are now through 5 complete innings, and as you know, this is what we like to call Japanese halftime. And we're going to take a halftime, and it looks like there's going to be more changes as the manager of the Hawks is out to let the umpires know. We'll put the music on loop. We'll come back in just a bit. It is top of the 6th inning, just around the corner. Your score, Carp 3, Hawks 3. Stick around. We'll be back for more action in just a bit. Welcome back, everybody. We have a pitching change as it's Ryuta Inagawa on the hill here for the Hawks. It's already a 1-ball, 1-strike count at Kazuno to start the 6th inning. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-1. Sasaki and Noma to follow here in the 6th inning for the Carp, as we are in a 3-3 deadlock here. As we took that timeout, we like to call the Japanese halftime, or the Asian halftime. There is a fastball that misses upstairs. It's now 3-1 to Kazuno. It's something that they do in all the Asian leagues. They take that break. I like to call it halftime. Some people like to call it a smoke break. Some people say it's to work on the diamond, but whenever it is, it's the 5-minute stoppage in between. There's a fastball that misses in between. That was at 94 miles an hour. And Kazuno is going to be aboard with a leadoff walk here to start the 6th inning, and that'll bring up the first baseman in Tai Sasaki. There have been wholesale changes over the last couple innings, and so we've had to keep the pencils sharp to be able to make note of these changes. As Sasaki is stepping into the dish here. So far, Sasaki is 0 for 1 today. He's grounded to second, and he has walked and scored a run. Batting from the right side against the right-handed throwing Inagawa. Right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on it. Is lifted foul into the seats behind home plate. I thought last night there was a good crowd at the Balluna Dome. Turned out there was just shy of 18,000. I was kind of thinking for exhibition play about 20. For the game here tonight, it's a much better crowd. Saturday night crowd. What do you do? Or Saturday afternoon crowd. What are you doing in Fukuoka? There's a fastball that catches the outside corner. And, the Carp fan generally travel pretty good. Our friend God is Great is in the house. We welcome you and thank you for stopping in. Glad you could make it here. It's a bit of a light night tonight. I felt like we were talking to ourselves for a bit. And there is a split figure pitch swung on and fouled away right into the midsection of Omino, and that's going to keep the count at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Hawks jumped out to an early 3-0 lead, and it was the 3-run homer off the bat of Sandro Fabian back in the 4th inning that had tied the ball game up. That's where we stand right now. Inagawa, the 4th pitcher to be used tonight by the Hawks. Tarnock has gone the distance so far for the Carp. 0-2 on the way. Fastball swung on and missed. And Sasaki is made quick work of. He's gone for the first out of the inning. And that is going to bring up Takeyoshi Noma. Noma's first at bat of the ball game as he came in as a defensive replacement for Sandro Fabian. And he went into right field as the right fielder Nakamura moved over to left. So that brings to the plate Noma as he's waiting here on the offering, batting from the left side. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses upstairs. Count is 1 ball and no strikes. Our friend God is Great says, how's it going? The game's been going okay. But it's been a late night here. Enjoying a little bit of a timeout. There's a fastball that misses up, and they go appeal to the third base umpire, but they say that Noma didn't go. Counts now 2-0. 2 balls and no strikes. This game had a pretty good clip to it through the first 3 innings, and then it just sort of hit a wall in the 4th. And then with the pitching changes that the Hawks have been delivering to us, as we said, they used 7 pitchers in last night's game. There's a fastball on the inside corner taken for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1. Hawks have been going to the bullpen, getting their guys some work. The season opens next Friday. It all gets going for real. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-1 on Noma. As we mentioned, we're going to be doing the game on Friday, more than likely between the Hawks and the Fighters. I think that's our season opener. We have had that one circled on the calendar for a bit, and then we'll cycle back on Friday night and do another ball game. I haven't looked ahead to see if we'll stay with that series or not. Fastball misses inside. It's going to be ball 4. It's going to advance Kazono over to second. Noma is over to first. And now it is going to be Katsuda coming to bat. So a walk, a strikeout, and a walk. Nobody has yet to put a bat on the ball here against Inagawa in fair territory yet. So Naro Katsuda striding the plate with his first at bat here of the evening. He replaced Ryosuke Kikuchi. The Chave in the house says, good choice for the opener. Yeah, I think so too. Umpires are going to break up the mound conference. I'm curious to see. I looked the other day and they were showing who the announced starters were, and then it was my mistake. I forgot to jot it down. With Kohei Arihara now a fighter again. Does he get the nod to start against his former team? I don't think so. So the left-handed hitting Katsuda takes a first pitch fastball down and in, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. I wonder if Joe C. Siu gets the nod for the Hawks because he was given the number 18 to start the year, which typically would be the ace of the staff. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball swung on it, is lifted down the right field line, and it's just going to hook foul. Didn't look like he got much of it, but the ball carried. As he really had to take his hands and pull it inside. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Katsuda. Wondering if the Chave is ready for some Major League Baseball. He is, I remember correctly, in the Toronto area. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count now goes to 2-1 on Katsuda. Certainly know your allegiance to the hockey team that lost tonight to Carolina. I bet they can't wait for the baseball season to start, so it'll be the talk of the town in Toronto. Here's the 2-1. Fastball misses down and in. Count now goes to 3-1. Take the heat off the hockey team. Sales of Montreal Canadiens jerseys have increased in the city of Toronto. Nobody's watching the Leafs. So 3 balls and 1 strike as the right-hander works himself to the set. And he pitches on the way. It's a fastball swung on it, is lifted down the left field line. It's going to be playable in foul territory. Kurihara underneath it. He makes the catch. And that is going to retire Katsuda. He's gone for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone. It's going to bring up Shogo Sakakura to the plate. Yeah, the Chave says, itching for some Blue Jays. I think they all to purge the Leaf season from this memory. It's hard to watch. It's funny. I was having a bite to eat with some friends tonight. And the particular group that I was with, there was a former National Hockey League referee in with us, and probably about 8 of us. We were chatting a little bit. And we were just saying how poorly that the Leafs are managed. Breaking ball misses up. And as an organization, they have a wealth of money, and now with the salary cap, they can't spend their way out of their issues, also known as bad management. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-0. And I'm not really a huge hockey guy. I follow what goes on a little bit. Certainly the Leafs. I said a couple of years ago I wasn't going to watch the hockey until the Leafs made it to the conference final. That could be a 20-year denial. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strikes. So the inning has started with a walk to Kazono. He struck out Suzaki. He walked Noma, and he got a fly out or pop fly out to retire Katsuda. And he's in jeopardy of walking Sakakura here. So every other batter he's faced, he has walked, potentially. So here comes the 3-0 offering. Pitch on the way. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. If I'm Sakakura, I might just want to rest the bat on the shoulder for the next 2 pitches. He's probably going to put me aboard via a base on ball. So 3 balls and a strike here. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball that looked like it was down, but it's golfed into deep right field. This ball could be trouble. Back on the track and looking up and gone as Akita's going to watch it sail into the seats. And so what do you know? We got another 3-run homer here for the Carp, and they've doubled their lead on one swing of the bat. It looked like it was going to be another walk on our hands, and he gets the 9-iron out and golfs it into the stands. And it is now a 6-3 Carp lead. The bullpen so far for the Hawks has given up all the runs. A 6-3 lead. We'll watch that one again. I think that pitch was, I don't know if it was down, maybe as I first thought, but it was definitely inside. And Sakakura turned on that and just absolutely destroyed it into the seats. And the first pitch on the way here to the shortstop, Fukuoka, is taken for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Our friend the Chave, we got him all fired up now. He said the Leafs have been the worst since he was in high school. And they're not going to get any better now. I forget who's got their first-round pick next year. There's a fastball missing down and away. Almost reminds me of some of those great trades that they made where they could have had Lindros. I think it was with Tom Curvers. Gave up a number 1-4. Just had some awful deals. Fastball misses up, and I think Tyler Seguin was another one. Lack of general interest. I don't know what there is with regards to player development. Certainly the scouting needs to be overhauled and how they value players. 2-1 on the way. Fastball swung on and is lifted foul over on the first base side. Count now goes to 2-2. Chave says he's 4 deep and he could kick the hornet's nest. Yeah, well, maybe it was a hockey puck going into the nest that got it going. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball. I'll take it for a called third strike. Oh, it buckled the knees of Fukuoka. Where did he come up with that one, and where was that for the other batters, as Inagawa has struck out Fukuoka to end the inning? And that's going to do it for out number 3. Well, they got 3 runs in the inning on the benefit of 1 hit. It was the 3-run blast by Sakakura. There were no errors, and there was nobody left aboard. Your scores, we move to the bottom of the 6th inning. It is a 6-0 lead for the Carp. Stick around, everybody. The Chave's going to have a couple more beers and keep the rant going. We'll be back in just a few after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is slated to come to bat Kenta Imamiya, Ryoya Kurihara, and Takashi Amino, but there has been some changes, as it is going to be Asami Nomura who is hitting in the spot of Kenta Imamiya. So he will be there to lead it off. So Nomura's all over the place here as Imamiya's day is done. And we are in the bottom half of inning number 6. And we do have a pitching change for the Carp as they now are dipping into their bullpen. It is going to be number 41, Kenya Suzuki, on the mound. He'll replace Freddie Tarnick. So Kenya Suzuki on in relief. As we are ready to resume the action. More changes as it looks like the Carp have a new catcher and middle infield. And the first pitch from the Sidewinder is bowled up to the plate for ball one. That was the first, or is it the second pitch? Because they got it at 1-1, and there's a fastball swung on and lifted. The counters are all wrong, and the cameras are all crazy. There's a ball lifted into right center field, but it's going to be caught by the right fielder, Nakamura. So Nomura flies out to Nakamura for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the third baseman, or supposed to bring up the third baseman, and Ryoya Kurihara. Boy, that ball had hardly any rotation on it. It was a two-seamer from the right-hander here, and it just looked like it was floating up to the plate. Or maybe tumbling up to the plate might be better, like a tumbleweed on the ground. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. I guess it's a fastball at 131 clicks. So no balls and one strike. As there's a fastball swung on it, has popped up on the infield. Moving over underneath it is the catcher who is going to make the catch. Kazono was coming in. He was calling him off. The catcher who has come in to replace Sakakura almost collided. And so that is, well, I don't know who the catcher is at this point. And Kazono getting the look from his catcher, the look of death. That was Kazono's ball. Should have let Kazono take it. It was easy for him to make the catch, but that's going to put two outs here in the inning, and that's going to bring up the catcher in Takashi Amino. The first pitch to Amino is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls, one strike. Trying to catch up. So our friend the Chave is in the chat, but as that fastball is taken for a called strike, I have to, unfortunately, try to catch up on our changes here, which are happening fast and furious. It looks like it was Futamata who is behind the plate. Am I seeing that right? As that pitch misses outside. So he goes from the shortstop position to behind the dish. Very interesting. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to do it. As Amino's down on strikes, a very quick inning here by Suzuki as he retires a side 1-2-3. We'll try to get ourselves collected here. And we'll come back and give you the seventh inning in just a couple of moments. They go in order, do the Hawks. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We got wholesale changes coming for the Hawks here, and I'll be back in just a couple of moments as our friend the Chave will catch up on you in just a minute. Hang tight, everybody. We'll be right back.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the seventh inning, and we've got Roberto Osuna on in relief as the wholesale changes continue here. So we'll get that in the books here. So Roberto Osuna on in relief. And slated to come to bat for the Carp. Well, it's supposed to be Eleuterios Montero. And we'll see if Montero is going to get any more at-bats, because they did give Tarnik an at-bat here to start, and then it'll be Hirakawa. And then it looks like in left field it is going to be, we'll have to see what the left fielder looks like. It's going to be number 59. That's Minoru Omori. So here we go as the first pitch from Osuna, a fastball taken for a called strike. It is Montero at the plate. So Eliharius Montero, he came in and grounded out his first at-bat, as he had come in to pinch hit for Tarnik. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to no balls and 2 strikes. As we make our notes, so Roberto Osuna getting a little bit of work in here ahead of the start of the season. The Hawks find themselves in a 3-run deficit to the Carp. 2 different 3-run homers have done the damage here. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and Montero's in the books for the first out of the inning. It'll bring up Ren Hirakawa to the top of the order. I was just catching back up on the Chave. The Chave said that Toronto's prospect pool ahead of next season, the entire organization resting on Matthew Nyes. Yeah, absolutely. They got to figure out who they're drafting. The other one would be Easton Cowan. They're going to have to maybe rely on it. I think he's going to be okay down the trail, but he's still pretty young. There's a first pitch fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1. Looks like it's Shogo Akiyama coming in to pinch hit here for Hirakawa. Akiyama, the former Cincinnati Red, 5 for 24 in exhibition play. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, and it's fouled away. The count is 1-1. So I wonder when we're going to get a Shogo Akiyama sighting. Our friend the Chave says he hasn't heard a whole lot about Roberto Osuna since the time he left the Jays. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Osuna, of course, when he went down to Houston, and he was okay there, but it was the off-field issues, the sideshows, as that fastball swung on and lifted into the temporary seating down the left field line. I was just having a conversation tonight. I was saying that, with regards to players, just in general, I was telling a story about, we always have guys that sometimes guys have off-field behavioral issues. And always the key is if you don't bring it onto the field, then you can survive with that. As soon as off-field issues come onto the field, that's a problem. There's a fastball swung on, and it is lifted down the left field line. It's going to slice into the seats. Count remains at 1-2 strikes. And I was thinking about it when I was in Edmonton a number of years ago coaching, and we had guys, we had to be at the park for 4:00 in the afternoon for a 7:00 first pitch. Had to be dressed and had to be in shorts ready for their warm-up at 4. And we had guys that had a hard time getting to the park at 4 from their night before. And we had to release some guys and that sort of stuff. And it was just like, you got to be kidding me. You got to know what you're there for. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, its lifted foul into the seats over on the third base line, and the count remains at 1-2. And especially when you have ownership groups that are charging fans at the time, probably the average ticket price was somewhere between $10 and $15 a ticket. And you got to get your guys prepared to play, and guys can't be prepared because they're all either hungover or whatever. 1-2 pitch there, and it's a fastball that misses down. Well, in the case of the Toronto Maple Leafs, you've got a situation there, at least when Osuna was around, when he was with the Blue Jays, his off-field issues were becoming a problem. And it wasn't the alcohol, it was more along the lines of the domestic abuse, and it reared its head again down in Houston. Here's the 2-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball lifted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble. Back on the warning track, looking up, and Akina is going to watch that sail into the seats. And Shogo Akiyama has turned around a Roberto Osuna fastball as he rounds the bases, and that is going to increase the lead to 7-3. And our friend the Chave says that Easton Cowan is going to get dealt. Yeah, probably. Wouldn't pass it. Wouldn't put it past the Blue Jays to do something dumb like that, or I should say the Leafs. Should talk to the Blue Jays about some management. They're finally pulling it together in Toronto. First pitch fastball delivered to Omori. It's Minoru Omori. He takes that for a ball upstairs, 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Yeah, it definitely, Osuna's off field. There's a fastball swung on it. It is grounded through the 4-hole into right field. And Omori is going to be aboard with a 1-out single, and that is going to bring up Kaito Kazono to the plate. But I'm also glad that Osuna is getting the opportunity to be able to get back on his feet professionally, getting an opportunity to be able to play, and maybe it'll end up working out for him. Yeah, he could have been a big help to the Mexican team in the World Baseball Classic, but because it's a Major League Baseball event, I'm speculating the reason he wasn't there is because it was a Major League Baseball event and they don't want him. There's a fastball swung on and lifted foul, and the count is 0-1. When you look at him as a closer in the food chain of NPB closers, his power stuff is absolutely outstanding. So here comes the 0-1 pitch as Osuna holds to the belt. Now he kicks and delivers fastball inside. There goes the runner down to second. The throw is not going to be in time. As Omori is going to get the bag, he moves himself into scoring position. Yeah, had a big-time jump on Osuna. He stole that one easily on the pitcher. Did Omori. So runner at second base with 1 gone. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into straightaway center field. Moving back on it is Sasagawa. He's underneath it. He's going to make the catch. And that is going to retire Kazono for the second out of the inning. It's going to bring Tai Sasaki to the plate. As I mentioned earlier, I'm curious to see how they had decided how to operate the game tonight for both of these teams. As I said, the substitutions coming fast and furious here for both of the clubs. Usually in the spring training, we see them, they get to about the 5th inning, and then that's where they make the changes. It is Tai Sasaki batting here with 2 gone, and now the runner at third as the runner did sack over to third. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. Yeah, you can't live angrily in Fukuoka. You would have if there was a report of domestic abuse there, you would be getting a visit from the local Koban, as there's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. I don't think the police would put up with much of that stuff. Very sensitive, and I don't want to say sensitive, but basically, I think the word I would use is cautious, overly cautious, frequently cautious. 1-1 on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike. Count now goes to 1-2 on Sasaki. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hawks right-hander working to the belt. And the 1-2 on the way. Fastball swung on it is lifted down the right field line, but it's going to slice into the netting, and that's going to keep the count at 1-2 to Sasaki. Curious to see how the Carp are going to play out this year. As I had mentioned earlier in the stream, more than likely it's going to be, at least in my opinion, Tigers and Giants 1-2. I think the Giants have done enough and have secured enough, especially the pitching end of things, to put them in a spot where they should be able to get the second spot. Whether it's going to be the Carp or whether it's going to be the Dragons, are we going to see the Dragons make a move again this year, or is it going to be the Bay Stars? I wouldn't bat an eye the Bay Stars missed the playoffs. So many changes over in Yokohama. As that pitch is swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Tai Sasaki. Right-hander works himself to the belt. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down. Good stop there by Umeno. Count now 2-2 to Tai Suzaki. Right-hander ready to go again as Osuna nods in agreement with his catcher Umeno. He works to the belt, and the 2-2 forthcoming. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the shortstop. Fielded there, and they fire to first, and that is going to do it. Nice play on the backhand by Nomura. It's a ground out 6-3. But the Carp will add to their lead here in the inning as they got a solo shot off the bat of Shogo Akiyama. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left aboard. We're going to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is now a 7-3 lead for the Carp. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with all the entertaining finish to this one in just a few. Appreciate our friend the Chave hanging in here with us, keeping us awake tonight. We'll be back in just a little bit after this and our version of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Taichi Saito who is coming on for the Carp here in relief. The right-hander has just completed his tune-up tosses, and he's going to be the 3rd pitcher used by Hiroshima tonight. Freddie Tarnick got the start. He went 5. Kenya Suzuki pitched the 6th, and now Saito here to begin the 7th. And it is going to be Kawase, Yanagamachi, and Sasagawa to come to bat to face him here. At least that is the slated part of the batting order, as he is ready to begin the work here in inning number 7. And the first pitch is a fastball that just misses outside. The count is 1-0. It's the first at bat of the night for Kawase, as the left-handed hitting second baseman of the Hawks takes a fastball for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. If you just joined us, it's been 2 different 3-run homers for the Carp and then a solo shot. So they've hit 3 home runs in the ball game tonight. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 1-2, as they are enjoying a 7-3 lead over the Hawks. Hawks jumped out to a 3-0 lead, and it's been all Carp since, as the right-hander kicks and delivers. Fastball swung on, chopped right back to the pitcher. Saito fields it. He throws to first. And Kawase in the books on a ground out, 1-3 for the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up the top of the order in Tatsuro Yanagamachi. Well, for Yanagamachi, he steps in. He is officially 1 for 3 tonight. He singled and scored a run in the third. He has struck out and grounded out in his other 2 trips. So 1 for 3 at the plate tonight. Saito delivers a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. And he pitches a fastball swung on. It is popped up over on the third base side, giving chase is Kazono. That is going to drift into the seats. Interesting, too, that I would have thought that the manager of the Hawks, especially in front of the home crowd, would have left his starters in the ball game a little bit longer. If you're going to give them the day off, you got tomorrow. Don't understand the urge to get everybody into the ball game, at least for this one here tonight. Here's the 1-1. Another fastball swung on, and another one lifted foul into the seats. And the count is 1-2. The player I'm interested in is in the hole here, and that is Itua Ikene. I've seen him a little bit during the exhibition season. I'm curious to see how it pans out for him. He reminds me a little bit of Yukio Shudo. He has a similar type of skill set, potentially. Fastball that misses outside. The count goes to 2-2. Remember when Shudo first came to the NPB, they had him playing some third base. And now they've moved him into center field, and I think that's where they're going to leave him. They had him at third base, did the Hawks. Saito steps off the backside of the rubber. He's going to go to the rosin bag, and we're going to go back to this again. So the right-hander again working to the set. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball, taken for a called third strike. Oh, I don't know what Yanagamachi was looking for, but he goes down on strikes for the second out of the inning. So 2 in the books, and that is going to bring up Yoshiyasu Sasakawa. And for Sasakawa, well, he is 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single and 3 trips. He's also scored a run. As the right-hander ready to go, Saito has come in and been working magic. That first pitch fastball misses down for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Sasakawa, we've seen him, the 23-year-old, get quite a bit of playing time in the absence of Yukio Shudo. Tall, lanky, left-handed hitter takes a breaking ball upstairs. Count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Looks like the analytics of spin rate has infected the NPB. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side. As it says, the first year we've seen it extensively. Sasagawa, 9 for 43. He's batting .209 here in exhibition play. 2-1 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and missed. Count now goes even to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander getting his sign and shaking everything off that he's getting from his catcher. Fudamata as the pitch is on the way. Fastball swung on and missed. Well, he finally got one he liked. And Saito blows it right by Sasakawa. He's gone for the third out of the inning. And that is going to do it as they go in order here in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. And by my calculation, that is 11 in a row now retired by Carp pitchers. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Your score is 7-3 for the Carp. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this musical timeout. Appreciate you guys for being here on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We're going to the top of the 8th. Your score is the Carp with a 7-3 lead over the Hawks. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the top half of inning number 8, and it is supposed to be Noma, Katsuda, and Sakakura to come to bat, and we're just waiting on the confirmation of that. Looks like we have a pitching change for the Hawks as well, as it looks like it is going to be Yuki Matsumoto who is coming on in relief. So Matsumoto taking over here, as he is going to be the 6th pitcher used tonight. So much similar to last night, as they had used 7 arms, did the Fukuoka Ball Club. First pitch swung on, popped up, foul over on the third base side. It's playable. And Kurihara in foul territory is going to make the catch. And with 1 pitch, we have 1 retired as Noma is gone for out number 1. So 1 gone here, and that is going to bring up Katsuda to the plate. Katsuda had moved over to the shortstop position. He is officially 0 for 1 today. He popped out to third his first time up. Takes a fastball down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander ready to deliver as he kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Katsuda. Matsumoto working quickly, delivers a fastball that misses down and away. Count goes to 1-1. They must have had the script all lined up for the pitchers on how they were going to throw here, because obviously with the Carp with a 7-3 lead, we wouldn't normally see Matsuda in this position, nor Osuna. Fastball misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-1. They're probably just in getting their work, because that's not how the manager is going to manage the team during the season. A 4-run deficit is not going to see Matsuda, one would think. Pitch swung on and fouled away. And the count now goes to 2-2 on Katsuda. So 3 balls, 2 strikes. They have it listed here. I got it at 2-2. I've been all over the map tonight, but maybe I am the one who's incorrect. There's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Doesn't really matter. Katsuda, you're gone looking for the 2nd out of the inning. And that is going to bring up the catcher spot in the order. It's supposed to be Shogo Sakakura. That was a change earlier on, as it is going to be the 2nd baseman, number 94, who is coming up to bat here. And that is going to be Yusuke Sato. So Sato batting from the left side, getting his first at bat tonight. He hits in the place once occupied by Shogo Sakakura. The pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. As I said, I think I'm somewhat behind here, because we're catching up and we're already behind a count 0-2. If we missed one here or not. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on, grounded up the middle, fielded by the 2nd baseman, Kawase. He throws to first. That's going to do it. Whether we're missing balls and strikes or not, doesn't really matter. Ground ball 4-3 to end the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Carp in the top of the 8th. They go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Bottom of the 8th is just around the corner. It is the Hawks coming to bat as they trail 7-3. Stick around, everybody. Whether you listen live or on delay, we'll be right back in just a couple of moments with all the action that you need to bring it home for you tonight. Hang tight. Welcome back, everybody. A quick peek around the out-of-town scoreboard. There is lots of scoring that is happening now, as we will get you caught up on that. In the top of the fifth inning, it is a 3-1 Fighters lead over the Swallows. Bottom of the seventh inning, the Bay Stars are enjoying a 6-1 lead over the Lions. Top of the fourth, it's 1-0 for the Giants over the Eagles. Vantolin Dome, it's 2-0 for the Dragons over the Marines. Bottom of the fifth inning, Tigers lead the Buffaloes 1-0 in that one there. We do have a pitching change as the Carp are going to their bullpen yet again. Number 43, Sotaro Shimouchi on in relief, as he will be the fourth pitcher used tonight. So Sotaro Shimouchi on in relief. And it is going to be Ikene, Tanegawara, and Nakamura slated to come to bat. And the first pitch to Ikene is a fastball that misses down. The count is 1-0. To Ikene, 21 years old, batting from the left side. He is 3 for 9 in exhibition play, homer and a couple RBIs. As I mentioned before, he reminds me a similar skill set to Shudo. Fastball swung on, and it is popped up into left field, coming in underneath it, and still coming in. And there to make the catch as the left fielder of the Carp, and that is now, is that Shogo Akiyama? It looks like it's Akiyama who put that one away. So one gone here, and that'll bring up, it's supposed to bring up Kenta Tanegawara. We'll see if it is going to be him, as he had come in to hit for Yuki Yanagita earlier in the ball game. Occupying the designated hitting position is Tanegawara as the right-hander ready to pitch. First one on the way. It's a breaking ball that drops down in the dirt for ball one, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. If you just joined us, the Carp fell behind 3-0 to the Hawks. And then the Carp deposited 2 different 3-run homers, one off the bat of Fabian and the other off the bat of Sakakura. And then Shogo Akiyama announced his entrance to the game with a pinch hit home run. And that is where we stand, 7-3. So the long ball playing a big part here for the Carp in this one tonight. That pitch misses down. It's now 2-0 as the right-hander Shimouchi ready to deliver here. The 2-0 pitch coming to Tanegawara. It's a fastball swung through and missed. Count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. And the right-hander leaning in, getting a sign and nods in agreement as Shimouchi works to the set position. 2-1 on the way. Kicks and fires. Fastball swung on and is popped up into center field. Moving over underneath it with plenty of room to make the catch is the center fielder, and that is that is now the center fielder of the Carp. For 59, that is Omori, as he is going to retire Tanegawara for the second out of the inning. And that is going to leave it up to Akira Nakamura. He came on to pinch hit for Hotaki Yamakawa, and he struck out his first time up. As the pitch coming from Shimouchi on the way. Fastball swung on and tapped foul over on the third base side. Count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Don't know if I really like that swing of Kira Nakamura. Getting a little long in the tooth. So there's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander leaning in, getting the sign as the pitcher Shimouchi comes to the set. Here comes the 1-1. Pitch on the way. Fastball lined over the head of the shortstop into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And so that is a single here for Nakamura. Well, that just broke a streak of Hawks that have been retired. where 13 Hawks in a row had been set down. They have not had a base hit or some type of runner since there was one out in the 4th inning. The Hawks finally have a runner aboard here. And that is going to bring up the shortstop in Asami Nomura. Well, for Nomura, as he strides to the plate, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to right field in his only at bat. Came on to hit for Kenta Ememiya and entered the ball game back in the 5th inning. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Right-hander again, working himself to the set. And here comes the pitch. Fastball misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Right-hander against the right-hander. As he leans to gets the look, and now he works to the set. 2-0 on the way. Pitch coming. Fastball swung on, lifted into deep left field. This could be trouble. And looking up, and this one is gone. A home run for the hitter Nomura. And the Hawks have clawed their way back. It is now a 7-5 deficit. And everything happening with 2 out here. So Nomura follows the single by Nakamura, deposits that into the seats. And guess what? We got a ball game back on again. It is now 7-5. So a 7-5 scoreline here. And now it's slated to bring up to the plate Ryoya Kurihara. We'll see if Kurihara is going to stay in the ball game. Shave says he's all right. He's awake again. I had to mute it because I was having a coughing fit. And it's Kurihara here as the pitch to him is on the way. It's a fastball swung on and missed. So this game was pretty much dead. You know, the batters hit pats for the Hawks, nothing happening, 13 in a row retired, then a single and a home run, and we're ball game's back on again. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. On its way. It's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count goes to 0-2. I guess if anybody took the over in this game, they probably would be fist pumping at this point. Who would have had this game going off for 12 runs? Probably not me. Here comes the 0-2 pitch. As the right-hander delivers. Fastball swung on and missed, and Kurihara is going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Hawks do some damage here in their half of the 8th. They get a couple of runs back. They had 2 runs on the 2-run homer by Asami Nomura. 2 hits in the inning, no errors, and nobody left the board. We are now through 8 complete. It is the Carp with a 7-5 lead over the Hawks. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We appreciate you for hanging in and for the Shave for being woken back up. Hate to disturb a good sleep because that's kind of how it's felt here tonight in this one. We'll be back in just a little bit after this timeout. It is a 7-5 ball game, and we'll be back to give you all the action here in just a couple moments. Appreciate you guys for looking in on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back in just a few. back, everybody. It is going to be the 7th pitcher used by the Hawks in this one here, as they are going to the bullpen to bring on Kazuki Sugiyama, as he will look to close this one out here for Fukuoka. And of course, the Hawks will have a chance to try to tie or win the game in the bottom half of the inning. If he can do what he does best, and that's throw strikes and get hitters out. He does work quickly. Right-hander here, as it'll be a replacement over at first base as well. Looks like it is Akira Nakamura's night is done. We'll have to see who they're replacing him with. And it looks like it is a first pitch that is missing for a ball, fastball upstairs. So ball 1 to Futamata. Futamata batting from the right side. Pitch is a fastball swung on and lifted foul. The count now even at 1-1. Futamata 0 for 3 tonight. Started the game as a shortstop, ended up moving behind the plate. He has struck out twice looking, and he has popped to second. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is here. Pitch on the way, fastball misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. The new first baseman for Fukuoka is Yudai Shoji, and there's a fastball swung on. Is driven in deep center field. This ball is going to be hauled in at the warning track by Sasagawa. Oh boy, he hit it to the deepest part of the ballpark, did Futamata, but able to run it down is the shortstop, and that is going to retire Futamata for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the designated hitter in Elharius Montero. Unless the Carp have something else up their sleeve. And it looks like they do. It is going to be number 49 coming into the ball game, and this would be first pitch swung on, grounded over to third. Kurihara throws to first. It takes Shoji off of the base, but the first base umpire said, yeah, he had held on, and that is going to retire him. That looked like it was Yuto Watanabe who was the pinch hitter here for Montero. So that's a ground out 5-3. We get a look at the replay. Yeah, it looks like he did just enough to keep his spikes on the bag. So 2 gone here. It'll bring up the top of the order. And Shogo Akiyama. And the first pitch to Akiyama, a breaking ball that bounces to the plate. The count is quickly 1-0. Akiyama, in his only at bat so far in this one here, he had a pinch hit home run back in the 7th inning to extend the Carp lead from 6-3 to 7-3 as the right-hander Sasagawa delivers. There's a fastball swung through and missed. Count now goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. When this one is done, we'll give you the recap, and then we'll give you the update on the out-of-town scores, and then we'll call it a night. As the right-hander ready to go again, he rocks into the windup and delivers. Pitch on the way. Fastball down, blocked by Umeno. Count now goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes on Shogo Akiyama. You can't sleep when Sugiyama's on the mound. He works extremely quick. Here comes the pitch. 2-2 delivered. Breaking ball. Taken for a called 3rd strike. Akiyama, watch that one go by like the house by the side of the road. He's gone for out number 3. And that is going to do it here for the Carp in their half of the 9th inning. They go quietly and in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. It is the bottom of the 9th coming up. Looking ahead, it'll be Amino, Kawase, and Yanagamachi slated to come to bat here for the Hawks. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel to bring it for you here. Hang tight, everybody. It is a 7-5 ball game for the Carp, and we'll be back in just a few.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. We are going to the bottom of the ninth inning, and it looks like the Carp are going to their bullpen. It's going to be Daisuke Moriura, who is coming on in relief. The lefty will be the fifth pitcher used tonight by the Carp. So he is going to be on to look to close it out here. So Moriura on in relief. As we said, he's slated to face Umino Kawase and the top of the order in Yanagamachi, but we'll see if there's anything different. The 27-year-old has just completed his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to resume the action here in just a moment. As he gets himself up onto the hill, directing a little bit of traffic, and we are ready to get this one going. So we are going to have a pinch hitter, it does look like here, as it is going to be number 33 coming to bat. This is Ryuta Hirose, and the first pitch to Hirose is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. It's just when you think that you're getting, they've cleared the benches, they got more to come. So Hirose hitting for Umino. No balls and one strike. Moriura looks in, gets the sign, and now he steps off the backside of the rubber, goes to the rosin bag, and we're going to do it all over again. And for those who do listen on delay, well, we're glad you will, because not enough people were listening on the live. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 1-1. Although I have to say, exhibition baseball, just another game under the belt. We expect all the things to go off next weekend for real. We'll call 2 of the first 3 games, so hopefully you guys can join us for that. Here's the 1-1. Fastball misses up and away, and the count now goes to 2 balls and a strike. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is, as the left-hander ready to deliver here to Hirose. As the pitch is on the way, it is a breaking ball swung on and missed. Now the count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hard to tell if that was a breaking ball or changeup. I didn't really get a good look at the grip. We've seen Moriura pitch before, and he has been lethal at times for the Carp. He can be nasty out of the pen. He's still young enough that he's got a lot of in the future. Here's the pitch. Fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, he blew it right by Hirose. Right on the inside corner. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring Hikaru Kawase to the plate. So not what you're looking for from your pinch hitter is you get locked up on an inside fastball. But he's gone in the books for out number 1, and that'll bring up Hikaru Kawase to the plate. Kawase 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded back to the pitcher his first time up. He entered the game in the 7th inning. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This ball is looped into left field. Coming in is Akiyama. He makes the catch, and that is going to retire Kawase for the second out of the inning. And now they're down to the final out of the Hawks, as it's supposed to be Tatsuro Yanagamachi coming to the plate. We'll see if it'll be him or if they are going to deploy a bench bat here in this situation. So let's see what the Hawks have up their sleeve. They need a base runner, and then they got the meat of the order coming up, or what's left of it. And the first pitch on the way, and Yanagamachi takes it a breaking ball down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Yanagamachi taps both sides of the plate. He digs in. Yanagamachi's had a rough night at the office. He's 1 for 4, but he has struck out twice. He has scored one of the 5 Hawk runs as he pitched on the way as a fastball swung on. It is lifted into left field. Moving back, now backpedaling and making the catch is Akiyama. And that is going to do it as the Carp are going to hang on for a victory here tonight in Fukuoka. Your final score is the Hiroshima Carp 7 and the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 5. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. We'll wrap this one up for you, call it a night, and then we'll come back and do it all over again tomorrow. Check our schedule for that. We'll be right back in just a few.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. Here's the roundup for you here as the Hawks fall to the Carp tonight 7-5. And the Chave says, thanks again. Well, we appreciate you for hanging in here. The Hawks opened the scoring and they closed the scoring in this one. It was in the second inning when Hotaki Yamakawa doubled. And after 2 outs, it was Takeshi Umino who singled him home to give the Hawks an early 1-0 lead. In the third inning, Hawks added to their lead. It was singles out the bat of Yanagamachi and Yukio Shudo. Up stepped Kensuke Kondo, and he sacked home Yanagamachi with the second run after a single by Yanagita and a flyout by off the bat of Hotaki Yamakawa. It was Kenta Mamiya singling home Shudo with the third run for the Hawks. They were cruising at that point. And then the pitching changes came, and then all heck broke loose in the fourth inning with 1 out. Kazoto singled. Sasaki walked and up stepped Sandro Fabian, and he smacked a 3-run blast to tie the game up at 3. It stayed that way till the sixth inning when Kaito Kazono led off the inning with a walk. Sasaki then struck out, and another walk to, it was Takeyoshi Noma who had come in the game for Fabian. After another pop-out, then up stepped Shogo Sakakura, and he smacked a 3-run homer to double the Carp lead to 6-3. And then in the seventh inning, the Carp added another run with 1 out. Shogo Akiyama smacked the home run to give the Carp a 7-3 lead. But the Hawks did come back with a pair in the eighth. With 2 out, it was a single to off the bat of Akira Nakamura, and then it was a 2-run homer off the bat of Asami Nomura, and that cut the lead to 7-5, but that was as close as the Hawks would get. Your final score in this one tonight, 7-5. We'll give you a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard, and then we're going to wrap it up for you on this one here. There is a full slate of games going across the NPB. This one and the other one that was an early start was the Bay Stars and the Lions. That game's in the top of the ninth inning at the Balluna Dome. It is 6-1 for the Bay Stars. In the top of the sixth inning, the Fighters have a 3-2 lead over the Swallows. That game is at Escon Field. The Tokyo Dome tonight has the Giants with a 1-0 lead over the Eagles. That's in the bottom of the fifth. The Vantolin Dome is in the top of the sixth as the Dragons have a 2-0 lead over the Marines. At the Kyocera Dome, it is a 1-0 for the Tigers over the Buffaloes. And once again, your final score here is 7-5 for the Carp over the Hawks. Well, everybody, we got one more exhibition game tomorrow night that we'll call, and then it'll be a few days off, and then the regular season opens up. We will do a opener late night. More than likely will be the Fighters and the Hawks on opening night, at least in North American times as well as Japan times. And then we'll come back for a Saturday game. Probably will stay with the series, but not 100% sure yet. We'll see what the pitching matchups look like, and then we'll take Sunday off, and then we'll get into the season once we return after that. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow. And for those who listen live or on delay, we always appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We'll see you again tomorrow night.